Her survival depended on this job interview. But when an old woman in a wheelchair begged her to help, she stopped and helped her. Even though she was almost late, because of this, she missed the interview. She did not know who she was. She did not know that helping her would change her whole life. Who was this woman? And how did this simple act of kindness turn everything around for her? Sit back and find out as we delve into this touching story. In the busy streets of Lagos City, a young woman walked fast toward the bus station. Her name was Naomi. She held her brown file close to her chest as she moved with hurry. There was determination on her face because she had a job interview. But apart from the hurry, anyone who looked at her could see something else. Deep sadness. Her steps were quick, but her heart was heavy. Naomi looked worried. Her eyes looked tired from sleepless nights. Her heart felt heavy with the weight of responsibility. She whispered quietly, "God, please let today be my lucky day." She had been waiting for this moment for so long. Every rejection, every closed door had led her to this one chance. But life was not always like this. Naomi used to be a bright, happy young lady. Back in her university days, she was one of the best students in her department. She studied economics and statistics with passion and dedication. Her parents had used all their life savings to make sure she was educated. They sold properties. They borrowed money. They denied themselves basic comforts just to see their daughter succeed. Naomi was the eldest child. Her younger brother Mike depended on her. The whole family placed their hopes on her shoulders. She would always say to her parents with confidence, "Don't worry. Immediately I graduate, I will get a good job and take care of the family. I will make sure Mike finishes his education too." Her parents believed her. They believed in her intelligence. They believed in her future. They sacrificed everything for her education. Everything started well. Naomi graduated with a first-class degree. Her name was called with honors at the convocation ceremony. That day, her parents cried tears of joy. The future looked bright. The sky seemed like the limit. Everyone celebrated her success. But something happened that changed everything. One Saturday morning, as Naomi's mother traveled to a village market to buy food items that she would sell at the Lagos market, tragedy struck. She had an accident on the road. She died instantly. The news came like thunder. It was such devastating news that brought sudden stroke to their father. The man who was once strong and full of life suddenly became a shadow of himself. He was sick. He sat always on a particular spot in their small living room, staring at nothing. He cried all day and said repeatedly, "Oh, why death? Why did you take her? Why now?" His voice was filled with pain. His eyes were empty. The light in his life had gone out. Before Naomi and Mike could understand what was happening, before they could even process their mother's death, their father's sickness became worse. He started coughing very hard, day and night. By this time, Naomi had graduated from school. But there was no job waiting for her. No money to feed the family. Let alone buy drugs for the father. The little savings they had finished quickly. Every day became a struggle. Every day, Mike would come to Naomi in an angry tone, his face twisted with frustration and fear. "You better get a job so Papa can go to the hospital. See you. You said you are the eldest. You were trained in school. Because of you, I didn't go to school. Mama and Papa spent everything on you." Mike's voice grew louder and harsher with each passing day. His anger became like fire. "You promised when you come out, you will get a job so I can finish my school. If you know what is good for you, you better get that job. Because if Papa dies, I will never forgive you." His words cut through Naomi like sharp knives. Naomi would say to Mike with tears in her eyes, "You are my only brother. Why are you saying these horrible things to me? I am trying my best. Do you think this is easy for me?" Mike shouted on top of his voice, his face red with rage. "Your best is not good enough. I don't care how you get this money. As you can see, Papa is not getting better. He is dying, Naomi. Dying. Naomi, do not make me an orphan. Mama is gone. Papa is here, almost lifeless. You have to do something. I don't care how you get this money. It is your responsibility to take care of this family now. You are the eldest. You were the one they invested everything in." Naomi stood speechless, her whole body trembling. She did not understand why her younger brother, the boy she helped raise, would say such cruel words to her. The pain in her chest was unbearable. Every morning, she would wake up before dawn and go to computer centers. She applied for jobs online. She printed CVs. She walked from office to office under the hot Lego sun. But none called her for an interview. The rejection letters piled up. The silence from companies was deafening. The pressure grew heavier every day. The insults continued without mercy. Day after day, Mike blamed her for everything. For their mother's death. For their father's sickness. For their poverty. For his inability to continue school. Meanwhile, their father's condition got worse. He coughed harder, blood sometimes appearing in his handkerchief. He could barely eat. He lost weight rapidly. His eyes looked hollow, lifeless, as if he was slowly fading away from this world. Then one morning, as Naomi dressed up nicely to go search for jobs, she had printed lots of CVs that she would share with various companies that day. She had a plan. She had mapped out 10 different companies to visit. She was determined. She went to see her father before leaving. When she entered his room, she saw her father coughing very hard, his whole body shaking with the effort. Tears came down from her eyes as she watched him struggle to breathe. "Papa," she said softly, kneeling beside him. "You and Mama trained me in school. I am a graduate today. It was you and Mama's effort despite having little. You sold everything for me. I will not disappoint you or Mama wherever she might be now. I promise you, Papa. Today might be the day everything changes." Her father looked at her with weak eyes and tried to smile. Before she could finish, and as she was about to leave her father's presence, Mike, her younger brother, appeared at the door. With sudden violence, he angrily poured a bucket of water on her. The cold water hit her like a shock. Her carefully pressed clothes were ruined instantly. "You are already a disappointment," he yelled with hatred in his voice. "Which CV are you going to share this morning that will eventually lead to nothing? You have been doing this for months. Nothing has changed. You better go inside and remove those office wares and wear revealing clothes to attract men. That is the only thing you are good for now." Mike continued without mercy. "Moreover, if your certificate cannot help us now, your beauty should. Go to men, give them what they want so they give you money. That is what girls like you do. Stop pretending to be holy." Naomi looked at her brother, water dripping from her hair down her face. Her brown file was soaked with water, the CVs inside probably ruined. Her body was full of water, her clothes sticking to her skin. She said to him with a trembling voice, "So you want me to start prostitution?" "That I will never do. Never." Mike replied coldly, "You don't have an option, or else I will make this house a living hell for you." "I mean it, Naomi. Every single word." Naomi went inside, her whole body shaking. She changed into another office where, dried her certificates as best as she could, reprinted some CVs with the last money she had, and went in search of jobs. The day was long and painful. She visited lots of places. Some companies. Some restaurants. Some small businesses. They all said no vacancies. One even told her with a dismissive wave, "We cannot employ you. You are too educated for this role. You will leave once you find something better." Naomi came home that day with nothing. Not even hope. She was devastated. Her feet hurt from walking. Her heart hurt from rejection. She sat in the dark that night, wondering if things would ever change. 1 week later, on an early morning, her phone beeped. She had just charged it after 2 days of the battery being dead because she had no money for electricity. It was a text notification for a job interview. Her heart jumped. The sender said, "This is Hedson Telecommunication Company at the island. You have an interview by 9 a.m. this morning." Naomi was shocked as she read the message. Her hands trembled. The date of the interview was that very morning. But the text had come a day before, but her phone battery was down, so she couldn't see the message on time. She looked at the clock. It was already 7 a.m. And she lived in the mainland, far from the island. She whispered in panic, "I just have to hurry. Maybe I might make it to the interview. God, please help me." She jumped out of bed. She collected money from her little savings, the last money she had hidden for emergencies. She got dressed quickly, combed her hair, got her credentials, and hurriedly left the house. Her brother Mike was sitting in the living room as she rushed past. He said with a mocking smile, "Look at her. Maybe she has decided to go and see a man. That is her business. Just make sure you bring money back." Naomi ignored him and left. She entered a bus to the Lagos island, praying silently throughout the journey. On her way, there was an accident that happened at a major junction, which resulted in heavy traffic. Cars were not moving. People were complaining. Drivers were honking. This time, she was almost running late. She checked her wristwatch again and again. She just had 45 minutes left. Her heart was pounding. She hurriedly came down from the vehicle, deciding to walk the rest of the way. As soon as she came down, the sky darkened suddenly. The rain started falling, heavy drops that soaked her immediately. She had to run very fast through the rain, her shoes splashing in puddles. She said to herself breathlessly, "This is my life-saving job. I must not miss it for anything. This is my chance. My only chance." As she kept walking and running, dodging people and vehicles, she heard a cry. "Young woman, please help me." The voice was desperate. When she looked, it was an old woman in a wheelchair by the roadside, rain falling on her. She screamed again, her voice breaking with fear. "Please help me. I need you to take me to the pharmacy at the other side of the road. I need my medicine urgently. Please, I beg you." Naomi was confused. She stopped running, her chest heaving. She did not know what to do. She looked at the old woman, then at her wristwatch. "Ma, I have a job interview. I am almost late. I don't want to miss this interview. I have suffered a lot. Me and my family depend on it to survive. My father is dying. Please understand." The old woman cried harder, tears mixing with rain on her wrinkled face. "Help me, my daughter. I am alone here. Just take me there, then you can go. Please, I am begging you." Naomi's mind began to fight itself. The battle was intense. "If I stay to help her, I will miss my interview. This is my only chance. My father needs me. Mike will never forgive me. But if I walk away, something bad could happen to her. This place is dangerous. She is old and helpless. What if something happens to her because I refuse to help? What would Mama say if she was watching me from heaven? What should I do? God, what should I do?" Naomi looked at her again. She looked so helpless. She looked scared. Her hands were shaking. Naomi sighed deeply, making the hardest decision of her life. "Okay, Ma. I will help you. Let me take you." The old woman's face lit up with relief despite the pain she was in. Naomi decided to take the old woman to the pharmacy across the busy road. She pushed the wheelchair carefully through the rain and traffic. She helped her get inside. She helped her get her drugs, even paying for some with the little money she had. She even made sure the old woman took the medication before leaving, giving her water and making sure she swallowed properly. Then the old woman held her hand and told her with genuine gratitude, "Thank you, my daughter. You can go now. I will be fine. God will bless you for this." Naomi asked again, concern in her eyes despite her hurry, "Are you sure you will be fine? Do you have someone coming for you?" The old woman smiled weakly and said, "Don't worry. I will be fine. Just go. Go to your interview." Naomi left and ran as fast as she could through the rain. Her clothes were soaked. Her shoes were wet. Her certificates were getting damp. But she kept running. When she finally got to the venue, exhausted and out of breath, it was already 9:30 a.m. She was 30 minutes late. The receptionist looked at her with cold eyes, taking in her wet appearance with obvious disdain. She told her in a cold voice, "You are late. We don't tolerate lateness here. This is a professional establishment." Naomi tried to explain, her voice desperate. "Please, I met an emergency on the way. There was an old woman who needed help. There was traffic and rain. Please just give me a chance." But no one cared to listen. The receptionist waved her hand dismissively. Then the manager came out from his office and saw Naomi kneeling on the floor, begging with tears in her eyes. "Please, sir. I met an emergency on the way. I am very good, very intelligent. Just interview me. I promise to help build your company. I got the knowledge. Look at my credentials. I am a first-class graduate. But the manager said to her without any sympathy, his voice cold and final, "Young lady, time is of the essence here. If you cannot keep time for an interview, how can we trust you with responsibilities? You have just shown that you are not ready for this job. So you may leave. Security, please escort her out." Naomi could not believe her ears. She stood up slowly, humiliation washing over her. She came out of the office feeling down, feeling defeated, feeling like the world had finally broken her completely. She told herself as she walked in the rain, tears now flowing freely, "I shouldn't have helped that old woman. Maybe I would have been able to meet up with the interview and get the job because I believe I am capable. Did I do the right thing or not?" She stopped walking and looked up at the rain falling on her face. Maybe I did the right thing to have helped the old woman. But why do I have to pay such a heavy price for kindness? Then she remembered home. Her sick father lying on that bed, coughing. Her troublesome brother waiting to insult her. Her mind skipped. She could not face them immediately. She did not go home on time. She stayed back at a junction where they sold newspapers, sitting under a small shelter, watching people pass by. There, she saw a job advert in one of the newspapers and wrote it down in her notebook with shaking hands. She thought that when she got home, she would apply for this one since the other one was gone forever. That evening, her brother was already waiting for her at the door, arms folded, face angry. Immediately he saw her, he said with a mocking tone, "This one you came late home today. It seems you slept with so many men today and they gave you money. You finally listened to my advice." Then Naomi replied him, her voice tired and broken, "Which men? Which money? I went for an interview, but I was not interviewed because I was late." The brother yelled, his voice echoing in the small house, "Another disappointment again. I knew it. You are useless." She said quietly, "I saw a woman on a wheelchair that needed help, so I decided to help, and that made me to be late." The brother said sarcastically, clapping his hands, "Clap for yourself, Mrs. Hero. You help outsiders, strangers you don't know, forgetting that your family needs the help the most. Papa is dying in there, and you are playing Good Samaritan on the street." Mike's face became darker. "Anyway, if anything happens to our father, as I said earlier, I will never forgive you. And you won't believe what I will do to you. You will regret the day you were born." Naomi answered, shocked by his hatred, "Are you serious right now?" Mike replied, stepping closer, his voice threatening, "I am very serious. Don't pray to see the other side of me. You don't want to know what I am capable of." Naomi couldn't sleep that night. She lay on her mat, staring at the ceiling in the darkness. She was worried about her father and her brother's words. They all got to her deeply, cutting into her soul like knives. "What am I going to do now?" she asked herself in the silence. "Even the smaller jobs I can't get. They will say I am overqualified. I can't go and start sleeping with men for money. I can't betray Mama's memory like that. God, I need help. Please, I need help." 1 week later, on a quiet morning, their father could not hold it any longer. His breathing became shallow. His body became cold. He lost his life, and everyone was devastated. The small house was filled with crying. Neighbors came. But Mike's crying soon turned to anger. He blamed Naomi for everything. He told her with red eyes, pointing at the door, "You must leave this house now. We are no longer family. I am the son, so I get to own this house." Though the house was small and modest, though it was all they had left of their parents, he drove Naomi out of the house without mercy. He told her with a cold voice, "If you refuse to go, you will join Papa and Mama. I mean it. I will end your life, myself." Naomi looked at her brother, this boy she used to carry on her back, this boy she used to protect, and she saw a stranger. She saw hatred. She ran for her dear life, taking only a small bag with her certificates and a few clothes. She ran far away where the brother could not find her, her heart broken into pieces. There, exhausted and hungry, she entered into a restaurant. She was all hungry, having not eaten anything since morning. With the little money she had left, just a few notes, she ordered the cheapest food on the menu, food without meat. She ate slowly, savoring every bite because she did not know when next she would eat. She paid for the food with her last money. Then she gathered courage and told one of the waitresses, a young girl about her age, "Please, I need a job. Any job at all. But the waitress told her with sympathy in her eyes, "Sorry, no vacancy. We just employed someone last week." As she was begging the waitress, desperation in her voice, "Even if it is plate washing, I don't mind. I can clean toilets. I can do anything. I don't have anywhere to go." Then the manager came out from the back and said, "What is going on here?" The waitress told the man that Naomi was looking for a job. Then Naomi knelt down immediately, not caring about her pride anymore, and said, "Sir, I can work any type of work. And I don't have a place to sleep. I don't mind sleeping here after the day's sales. I will work hard. I will not disappoint you. Please, I am begging you." The manager looked at her for a long moment, studying her face, seeing the desperation and honesty there. He said, "Okay. You will start with plate washing. We will see how serious you are." Naomi was excited, tears of relief flowing down her face. At least she had something to do and a place to sleep. That night, she slept on a mat in the storage room, and it felt like heaven compared to the streets. Days turned into weeks. Naomi worked very hard, washing plates until her hands hurt, cleaning tables, mopping floors. She never complained. She came early and stayed late. And later, she became one of the waitresses. Immediately the manager noticed her intelligence and excellent communication skills, how she spoke to customers with respect, how she remembered orders perfectly, how she smiled despite her pain. He said, "You should be one of the waitresses so you can help communicate well with our customers. You are wasted in the kitchen." Naomi kept doing her job well at the restaurant every day with so much delight, grateful for this second chance at life. One fateful afternoon, an SUV, a big expensive car that gleamed under the sun, drove inside the restaurant compound. At the back seat was the old woman Naomi helped that day she missed her job interview. The driver, a man in uniform, went inside the restaurant and told one of the waitresses to come outside to get the old woman's order. Due to her condition, she couldn't come down from the vehicle. The waitress that followed the driver to the car was Naomi. Immediately she got to the old woman, her eyes widened. She recognized her instantly. "Mama, how are you today? You remember me?" Her voice was filled with emotion. The old woman looked at her carefully, then her face broke into a smile. "Yes, my daughter, I remember you very well. You are the one that helped me to the pharmacy the other time. And you said you had a job interview at an IT communications company that you were running late. Despite that, you still helped me. You pushed my wheelchair in the rain." The old woman continued, her voice soft with concern, "I have been thinking about you every day since then. I forgot to collect your contact that day, and I have been regretting it. I wanted to know if you were still able to meet up with the interview. Did you make it?" Naomi bowed her head shyly, shame washing over her. "Ma, I didn't meet up. They said I was late. They didn't even give me the chance to be interviewed. And I lost my sick father in the process. My brother threw me out of the house. He said I decided to help a stranger, and I caused the fact that our father was dead. He blamed me for everything." The old woman's face changed completely. She was deeply touched, her eyes becoming wet. "I am so sorry, my daughter. I guess it is my fault. If I hadn't called you that day, none of this would have happened." Naomi answered quickly, "It is not your fault, madam. God knows the best. I made my choice. I chose to help you, and I don't regret it." The old woman looked at her with deep respect. Then she asked her gently, "Where do you live now?" "I work and live here, Ma," Naomi replied quietly. The old woman was shocked, her hand going to her chest. She told her driver immediately, "Give her my company card." The driver brought out an elegant business card and handed it to Naomi. "Whenever you are free, call me so we can see. Please don't forget. This is important." Then Naomi collected the card with trembling hands and went inside to get the old woman's orders. The driver collected them from her, and they drove out of the restaurant, leaving Naomi standing there, staring at the card. Naomi held on to the card that night, looking at it under the dim light in her storage room. She said to herself with a small hope rising in her heart, "Maybe it is time for God to give me my dream job. Maybe this is the miracle I have been praying for." The next day, Naomi begged her colleague to help cover for her shift, promising to work double the next day. She went to see the old woman in her company. When she got there, her mouth opened in shock. The company was very big with big glass windows and doors, security guards, and well-dressed people walking in and out. As she entered the reception, the old woman had already informed them. They welcomed her warmly and took her upstairs. The old woman welcomed her into a beautiful office and said, "My daughter, sit down." Naomi sat on the edge of the chair, nervous. The old woman said, "I am so sorry for what had happened to you. But I want you to know, from now henceforth, you are my daughter. I have no child of my own. God never gave me that blessing. The old woman continued, tears in her eyes. You took care of me when you didn't know who I was. You had an interview that day, a chance to change your life, but you missed it because of me. It is only a daughter that can do what you did, but you did it for a stranger. Your heart is pure. So today, I invite you to be part of my company. I want to train you. I want to mentor you. And all my companies will be transferred to you as my sole heir when the time comes. The old woman smiled through her tears. And most interestingly, that very company you applied for that you missed that day, Hedson Telecommunication Company, is one of my companies. I own it. So automatically, you are now the owner of the company by inheritance. You are now the CEO. Naomi was shocked, her whole body trembling. Am I dreaming? She asked herself, pinching her arm. Really? I am now your daughter? She knelt down, unable to control herself. Tears of joy streamed down her face like a river. She just said, her voice breaking with emotion, "Thank you, Mother. I promise I will make you proud. I will never disappoint you. I will be the daughter you never had. I will take care of you. Thank you for seeing me when everyone else looked away." Days later, the old woman, now her adopted mother, introduced Naomi to the manager and the receptionist of Hedson Telecommunication Company, the same people that told her that day she was late and sent her away. "Meet your new CEO," the old woman said with a smile. "You will take orders from her from now on." Everyone was shocked, their faces showing complete disbelief. The receptionist looked at the manager, her mouth open. "This is that lady that day that was begging for a job here. The one that was kneeling and crying. Now she is now our CEO, our madam." The manager replied, still in shock, "I am so shocked as you. They really say tomorrow is pregnant. No one knows what tomorrow will bring. This is unbelievable." Naomi looked at them. She could see the shock and fear on their faces. She said calmly, with grace, "I was late that day because of the same reason I am your madam today. I helped someone in need. You see why it is good to be good to everyone, regardless of who they are or what they look like. Kindness is never wasted." Everyone got to work immediately. Everyone ran to their desks and started working as they took orders from Naomi, who was now their new boss. Months later, Mike, her brother, saw it on the internet. A big headline read, "Young CEO takes over major telecommunication company." There was a picture of Naomi, his sister, looking successful and happy, standing beside her new adopted mother. He was shocked and couldn't believe his eyes. He read the article 3 times. Then he came to Naomi's company one morning, determined to see her. But before anyone could see Naomi now, you must have an appointment with her, else you won't see her. So Mike came around the office. The gateman asked professionally, "Do you have an appointment with her?" He said desperately, "No. She is my sister. Tell her I am here. Her brother, Mike. She will want to see me." The officer at the gate told Mike firmly, "This is a corporate office, not a family house. If you don't have an appointment with her, leave before the security throws you out." Mike had to stay outside the gate in the hot sun and wait till evening, hoping to catch her. When Naomi was inside her Jeep driving out of the office compound, he quickly knelt down on the hard ground and ran to her vehicle. "Please, sister, forgive me," he cried, banging on the window. "I was wrong. I didn't know what I was doing. I was stupid. I was wicked. Please take me back." Naomi rolled down the glass slowly and looked at him. She said calmly, without anger, "I have forgiven you a long time ago, Mike. I forgave you because I needed to move on with my life. Families are not only related by blood but by care, sacrifice, and love. You chose to drive me away from your life when I needed you most. You poured water on me. You insulted me. You wished me dead. So go and live your life alone while I am living mine with my newfound family who truly loves me." She rolled up the glass and told the driver, "Drive away." The car moved forward. Mike knelt down in the dust and cried, "What did I do to myself? What have I done?" He beat the ground with his fists. But it was already too late. The car disappeared into the distance. Life teaches us something very important through Naomi's story. Sometimes the people we help in our darkest moments become the same people God uses to lift us up again. Sometimes the road we take out of kindness may look painful at first, but in the end, it leads to blessings we never expected. And sometimes, the same people who mistreat you today will watch your success tomorrow from a distance, full of regret. So never stop being kind. Never stop believing. Never stop doing good, because kindness always returns bigger, brighter, and stronger than before. What do you think about Naomi's journey? Please share your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to read from you. And my wonderful viewers, there is another very interesting story coming in a few days. So please subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified immediately I upload the next story. If you enjoyed this one, do not forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching.